These are the early morning sights and sounds from the kitchen at this Baptist migrant shelter. The beginning of a busy day as some 60 parents and children need breakfast, plus a ride to the airport or bus station.
We give them a hot meal, we give them clothes, hygiene.
Pastor Kelly Knott oversees the ministry.
They're coming from Haiti, Chile, Brazil, Turkey.
A true melting pot is overflowing at the El Paso border these days, with authorities apprehending tens of thousands of migrants each month. Local churches and ministries are stepping up. El Paso churches and other faith-based groups host migrants at 14 sites, and they are hoping to open more in anticipation of greater numbers in the months ahead.
We are now seeing a ramp up of the number of families.
Ruben Garcia has been receiving migrants for over 4 decades at Annunciation House, one of the leading faith-based shelters on the border. He has watched numbers rise this year as countries like Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba refuse to take back those the U.S. expels. And the Biden administration allows more with safety and persecution fears to cross over.
We're seeing those nationalities that cannot be expelled increasing. And so, like today, where immigration is releasing 470 refugees to us.
Garcia is motivated by his faith, and specifically God's love for the poor.
The God of creation identifies first and foremost with the least among us. So, if we want to discover our own holiness, if we want to discover a depth of life, a sense of purpose, then we need to place ourselves among those that God identifies with first and foremost.
Garcia organizes hospitality sites for migrants just released from immigration processing. He has created the network of local shelters, calling on churches like Pastor Kelly's to provide cots, food, showers, and transportation. More than 80 Baptist churches support this location. Pastor Kelly says serving migrants paves the way for the sharing of the gospel.
At the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. Really, no one really cares how much we know, but how much we care.
Martha Lay is one volunteer serving in this small army.
As a Christian, I think that we need to be helping our brothers and sisters.
Lay helps provide fresh clothes and listens to the travelers' stories of hunger, violence back home, and desperate journeys, like one dad who carried his disabled daughter over a desert mountain.
He said they had to climb up, and so it was very narrow, and they had to carry the little girl, and he said he almost fell.
Along the U.S.-Mexico border, these shelters showcase tremendous cooperation between Border Patrol and local ministries. El Paso-based migration advocate Dylan Corbett says it's one of the untold stories that could pave the way for more permanent solutions.
This is a community where a lot of people are Border Patrol agents. This is a community where a lot of people work for immigration enforcement. And we know that we have to find solutions. And so we work them out at the local level. That's what gives me hope. That's what gives me confidence that one day we'll get to some real reform in Washington, D.C.
For now, Garcia watches border trends and numbers climbing as he pursues a mission to open more shelters in other cities.
I'm hoping that church communities in both Denver and Dallas are listening.
The goal, prevent a backlog of migrants unable to find flights and bus rides out of El Paso. At Pastor Kelly's shelter, hope is in the air as these migrants board a church van bound for the airport.
This is just one of the stops on their journey from wherever they're coming from. But we want to make sure that when they stop here with us, especially on this border town in El Paso, Texas, in the United States, they see the love of God.
Reporting in El Paso, Heather Sells, CBN News.